It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while and just smile. Just taking some clean.
Hello everyone, this is the Krebs Coho and Ryan collaboration cast. So I'm going to be collaborating with Ryan today, and we will be doing something a bit exciting, I should say. We're going to be doing a replay featuring BAWMorelloo versus EmperorDodo. And if you guys know your company, Heroes Morelloo, oh geez, he is a legend in my opinion. I was a wee fledgling when I started watching him, and yeah, I always loved the guy. And so I'll let Ryan just have a chance to say hello.
Hi guys.
That is Ryan, so you guys are becoming very familiar with the guy. Now, I want you guys to guess what map could we be playing right now. If you guys look in front of my screen, there's a whole bunch of propaganda posters. What could they mean? What could they say? Well, I can't read it anyway. But let's zoom out, and I bet you guys will figure it out. We are playing on Semois. Okay, so Ryan, are you ready for this replay?
I sure am.
Let's do this then. Okay, so starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So we have BAWMorelloo. He's not actually Sergeant Morelloo anymore, so he must have changed clans. Morelloo is a very famous expert player from a long time ago, and he took quite a long hiatus there, about a year or so, and he just recently got back into the game. So this replay is actually about a month ago, and yeah, Sergeant Morelloo, very good player. He always done really unique sort of stuff, and just very cool indeed. So what could we expect, Ryan?
Other than Morelloo's horrible typing, I think you're going to see a little more classic matchup in between the American and the Wares. A lot of the early infantry fights and those kinds of things throughout this match.
Yeah, so I would say basically just everything's going to come down into the center, I think. Because this is Semois after all, so usually all the battle is concentrated in the center. I mean, the bridges, all these little choke points, they all funnel into the center. This church will most likely become a hotspot for a lot of the action. And whatever else, really. I mean, there's some key resource points, so you guys know that you have your manpower cutoff points over here and over here. But also to the north west side of the Axis base, or EmperorDodo, there's this fuel point, and this actually sees a lot of, I don't know, awkward action, so to say, cutting off. There'll be barbed wire around here usually, and just little weird stuff, really.
And while you were talking, we have a forward HQ up by the Wehrmacht player instead of a Wehrmacht quarters. And
that is indeed a very
coming out
strange
from Morelloo's base.
So that's quite a strange strategy. Why would you be going for something like that?
Well, you can still build Volks. You lack the ability to build MGs and snipers, so it's kind of an aggressive, drive at the middle. And like we were talking about, that middle is so important, just because you can flank either side from there.
I suppose that's pretty cool. Like, I mean, if he's going for the whole, forward base sort of thing, but that's sort of gonna keep him lacking in support power. So I mean, he can't build the snipers, he can't build the MGs, and nor with bikes either. So I don't know. To be honest, I think that sort of puts him in a vulnerable position.
It definitely is a vulnerable position. I mean, as soon as, particularly without a Wehrmacht quarters at hand, as soon as you get pushed back, if that drops, then you're not creating any more Volks at that point. So you'd better hope that you're teched up to a point where you can make something else.
Yeah, exactly, because you don't want to just like stay the entire game just playing with Volks. Now, I just want to mention something before we keep on going with this. This replay is actually quite short, so only about 20 minutes long, but it's the first out of 2 replays that we're going to be doing today, and just think of this replay as, I don't know, maybe like an appetizer. So just imagine yourself in TGI Fridays. This is the bread basket. There's going to be some more action coming a little bit later.
You have TGI Fridays in Scotland?
Oh yeah, we do. We definitely do.
That's ridiculous.
I know you
American
actually get a lot of
capitalism for the win.
westernized stuff over here. It's quite unfortunate. Like I was hoping that they would have Applebee's, for example, because I used to live back in California, and we used to go to Applebee's all the time, and they used to have like these chocolate fudge brownies, and this absolutely amazing. But you don't get that unfortunately over here.
Got a lot of wire coming up from the wear player. I mean, there's wire everywhere.
You're absolutely right with that. I mean, this wire is just absolutely insane. I mean, this is going to basically become like a labyrinth, it looks like. I mean, just totally cutting off Sergeant Morelloo from actually just even going anywhere. I mean, just totally changed the whole game mechanics on this map.
Of course, we got the medium fuel point outside of the wear base getting harassed.
And that's right, so Sergeant Morelloo is actually being very extending with his infantry, so he's just capping a lot of the Wehrmacht's positions right now. So the funny thing about that forward HQ, I mean, he's definitely focusing on the center. That could work towards his advantage and also work against him, because since he has that forward HQ there, that means he has to keep guys over in the center, or else he's going to lose that forward HQ, obviously. So that, I don't know, personally I think that makes him a bit weak on the sides in terms of capping, because, you know, just defending that HQ.
Well, and one of the other factors with that is by not having the units exit your base, you don't have the opportunity to reroute them when they start to harass your fuel. And so, you know, you've got a much longer way to walk in order to keep that cutoff from going on. We have a medic station up outside of Morelloo's base.
Indeed we do, and he's being quite frontal with that as well.
Well, I think with a forward HQ up and four squads of Volk? Four squads of Volks. You know, I mean, you're looking at a heavy infantry battle, so you got to start prepping for it.
That's right. I mean, exactly. If he's just got like loads of riflemen, loads of infantry on the field, then why not? I mean, it'll definitely pay in the long run.
And then we've got bars upgrading. Actually, just finished upgrading.
Very nice. So if he's got his bars, that means he's obviously not going to be going for a fast M8. He's also upgrading. Morelloo's also upgrading some engineers with flamethrowers, because he totally recognizes that they have a control of that church. I mean, what is the best way of taking guys out of any building? Well, you guys know, flames. So here we guys go. We got Morelloo throwing a bit of flames. This is going to put a bit of pressure on EmperorDodo. He has to get out of that church, or else face the risk of being burned alive.
Ooh, Faust Jeep.
Now I actually love the setup of. Don't you love the setup of guys right now? It's just flanking squads on the side, just providing a lot of hassling power. Unfortunately, Morelloo losing his engineers there. That could have been a bit of rustiness from just coming back from his hiatus.
That's a lot of fire, though, too, for engineers. You know, I mean, it's one of those things. Sometimes you issue that retreat command, and it just isn't fast enough. But we have another squad coming up, hopping in the house to clear the church out.
So Morelloo just does not want to stop at one engineer. I mean, he just wants to get a few engineers with flamethrowers just to make sure that if any guys are in buildings, they will have a very difficult time.
I don't even think he noticed that engineer squad going down.
No, I don't think so. He also lost that Jeep, funnily enough. And oh, here we go, just landing on a mine. So unfortunate for that one little man who died, and two little men who died. 3! Oh, jeez. So, what could, it looks like EmperorDodo is actually going for T2, and he's getting down to Krieg Barracks. That's quite funny. I don't know about that. I mean, if he has a forward HQ on the front line, he's obviously going to have a lot of infantry. If I was him, I would capitalize on that and build a medic bunker, try to get some grenadiers from that.
Well, one of the things that EmperorDodo in particular is kind of known for is not liking medic bunkers and artillery. And so he likes to play without them.
Oh, does he? Okay. Well.
Yeah, and we actually have a Grenadier squad. Initially it was a pack. He canceled it and brought a Grenadier squad out of the Kriegsbarracks.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about the Krieg Barracks. I mean, and this guy's in EmperorDodo's strategy right now. I mean, if he goes for Krieg Barracks, all he's really going to be able to build is either a pack or grenadiers. He's obviously not going to build a half track because he's got forward HQ. Grenadiers, I'm not too sure why he would get those, to be honest. Because I mean he's got Volksgrenadiers. I'm not sure why he would get a pack either, because Morelloo has gone for bars, so he doesn't need anti-tank so soon. So I'm not really sure if T2 has been the wisest choice.
Even then, though, I think you know, with as much fuel control as Morelloo had early on, you know, there's still that possibility for an M8 coming out faster than what he's prepared for.
I think that's right. Yeah, you're definitely right. About just Morelloo having that early advantage with all that capping power. I think, I don't know, I just keep on going about this, but I really think EmperorDodo has shot himself in the foot by building that forward HQ. Just because if he really wants to capitalize on all this infantry, just build that medic bunker and get all those free grenadiers. I mean, totally would help. But as you said, he likes his you know, his strategy.
Right, and you know, and there's no doubt that a med bunker would have been more effective in this situation. We had at least we have one Volk squad going down on a retreat from those 3 bar squads that came up the center, and we have Vet 1 on infantry.
So basically EmperorDodo is just going the halfway mark with the infantry right now. He's got his veterancy for them, but just missing that bunker, that's all really. Okay, so it looks like he's got a barrage of grenades going on, so I believe that is Blitzkrieg?
That would be Blitznades.
And very useful at that as well. I mean, I think that's 50 ammunition, and you throw a lob of grenades stunning them, and Sergeant Morelloo just had to realize that, yeah, my guys are pinned, they're not going to do anything, so I might as well retreat them and get them out of there.
Well, and the other thing is currently Blitznades don't kill anyone, but in the beta, they are going to have the ability to cause casualties.
Uh-huh. So what I actually like is that despite how Morelloo has all these medic bunkers up, or this one medic bunker up and all these medics going about, Emperor is just totally killing the medics, like preventing them from even doing their job.
Yeah, he's gotten 1 free squad from it, but you know, relatively speaking, that's a pretty low price to pay. You know, it pays off the medic tent for sure. We have a pack coming out of tier 2.
So he's probably quite afraid that there might be, you know, some tanks coming out soon. Some Greyhound maybe. Do you think there actually could be a tank depot out so fast?
Seeing as I'm watching currently from Dodo's perspective, I haven't really been watching Morelloo's fuel. But, you know, I mean, it's very possible in a game like this, you could end up with a tank, you know, by 11:30 or so, particularly if the guy has OP'd the fuel, the medium fuel outside of his base, and if he's been harassing yours and even capturing the majority of the fuel, you know, it's possible.
Yeah, I suppose it is possible. I'm actually looking at Morelloo's fuel right now. His fuel income is only plus 21. He only has 15 fuel, and that is just recently after building a motor pool and building a half track. So he's going to be going for a half track, funnily enough. I don't actually believe. Yeah, I don't actually believe that he could have gone for a tank depot so fast, considering that he went for bars and all of that.
Well, the bars certainly hurt you, but you know, in a map like this, it's a question of, with the forward HQ, with no medic bunker up, is bars necessarily the way that you'd go?
Well, it might be. It depends, really. I mean, like, Morelloo is definitely going for a lot of infantry. He put that medic tent down, so I guess he's just, I don't know, trying to get some more fighting power out of it. Maybe more tanks, maybe some tanks mixed in with the infantry would be nice, but whatever Morelloo is doing right now, it is working for him. He obviously has solid control.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you just look at the map right now, switch on to the tactical map, I mean, this is just like a blue sort of encompassing the red.